history of crime detection has produced no more famous name than that of Sexton Blake. We present William Franklin as Sexton Blake, with David Gregory as his assistant tinker, and Heather Chasen as his secretary, Paula Dane, in a series of case histories by Donald Stewart.
I live here, in a cottage in the village.
Your whiskey, Mr. Quexley, sir.
Thank you. This is on me. Here, our landlord. Take for the sandwiches as well, will you?
Right, thank you, sir.
Cheers. Funny thing, Blake, you must be psychic. I was going to ring you.
Sudden nostalgia after nearly 3 years?
No, just a queer thing I can't explain.
Your change and the sandwiches, sir.
Thanks. Sorry, Quexley. Take a look at these. Playing cards. 10, knave, queen, king of spades, almost a royal flush. Been playing poker? No. You see that line of writing on each card? Now, if you take them in order of value, you get... A message, yes, I see. Seek for the ace at the stairs between two gates. Ask for the black Zambomba, says the Sin Eater. What's it mean? You tell me. How did you get these cards? By post. All together? No, separately. Enclosed in cheap envelopes. The address was all right, but... Well, I've no more idea on the man in the moon who sent them or what they mean.
What's, a black Zambomba?
It's a child's toy, a kind of musical instrument. Spanish origin. What was the postmark? Maidstone. I don't know anybody in Maidstone. Quite an intriguing little puzzle. Could be some sort of advertisement, I suppose. Or a joke.
What's the point?
A little obscure, I'll admit. Well, I'm afraid we must be off, Quexley. Oh, no, you'll have another drink. Sorry, old man, I've an urgent appointment in London, and we shall only just make it. We only stopped because Paula's stomach was screaming for nourishment.
But I'm only halfway through these sandwiches.
Bring them with you. You can have mine as well. I'll keep in touch with you, Quexley. Fine. Can I take these cards? Of course. Oh, here, you'd better have my phone number. I've got a pencil somewhere. Here, use this. Thank you. There you are. And don't forget to ring. I won't. So long, old man. Sorry to have to rush off.
Good night, Mr. Quexley.
Bye-bye, Miss Dane. Bye, Blake. Look forward to hearing from you. Jasper.
Yes, sir?
Bring me another large scotch, will you? Now, hop in. We'll have to step on it.
Well, it's been quite a day.
Yes. Nice to see old Quexley again. Pity we had to rush away. Like to have had a chat over old times.
Can you make any sense out of the message on those playing cards?
He said I must be psychic, but I can assure you I'm not.
What's the Sin Eater when he's at home?
What? Oh, in the old days, he was a chap who, for a small fee, was supposed to take all the sins of a recently dead person to himself by eating bread beside the corpse.
Ugh, charming.
Doesn't help much to explain the message on those cards, does it? Now, why don't you finish eating the sandwiches you're clutching so desperately?
I wonder how many sandwiches I'd have to eat to take up all your sins. Or is that just a polite way of telling me to shut up?
I want to think over this Quexley puzzle.
Oh, all right. I'll be as dumb as an oyster. All the way back to Berkeley Square.
Sexton Blake speaking.
Blake. I've been shot.
Quexley? What?
Listen. Not much time. They broke in. Those playing cards.
Quexley. Can you hear me? Quexley. Now, come on. Operator, listen, this is urgent. Connect me with the police station at Larkminster. No, I don't know the number. Never mind about the supervisor. Get me through as quickly as you can. A man's life may depend on it. Go on, hurry. Tinker, wake up. Come to my room. It's urgent.
What's up, Governor? What's all the racket about?
I can't stop to explain. I'm on the phone. Hello? Oh, damn it. Why don't they get a move on? Hello, Larkminster Police. Listen, Sergeant, this is Sexton Blake speaking. Send round at once to Mr. Quexley's house. Mr. Quexley. He's been shot. Take a doctor with you. Don't talk, man. Get busy. It's serious. I'm coming down straight away. I'll answer any questions when I get there. Hurry.
You say that Mr. Quexley's been shot, Governor?
Yes, get dressed as quickly as you can.
How'd it happen?
I'll tell you all I know on the way. Hurry up, Tinker, and get the car. It's just after 2:30. We ought to get to Larkminster about 4:45.
Mr. Quexley was dead when we got here, sir. Shot twice through the chest. Both bullets pierced his lungs. The doctor said he practically drowned in his own blood.
Poor old Quexley.
They've made a pretty thorough mess of the place, Inspector Hedges.
Yeah, they certainly have.
Looking for those playing cards. There's little doubt that was the objective.
Mr. Quexley surprised them and they shot him.
Have you any idea what the message on the cards means, Mr. Black?
Not at the moment, Inspector.
But do you think that Mr. Quexley was telling the truth when he told you that he didn't know anything about it, or who sent him?
Yes, I'm fairly sure he was.
How well did you know Mr. Quexley, sir?
We were old friends. Quexley was a journalist of political stuff, mostly foreign affairs. He was attached to the Chronicle for a number of years. Then he came into a bit of money on the death of an uncle, I believe. And I lost track of him until I ran into him at the pub last night.
I see. He didn't say anything at all that might help to explain this business, sir.
There wasn't time to talk much. I had an appointment with the Home Secretary and had to dash away to get back to London in time. If I'd known what was going to happen to the poor
It
chap...
didn't strike you that there was anything serious about the message on the cards?
Would it have struck you, Inspector?
Well, no, sir, I can't say it would. More like a sort of crossword puzzle. Well, we may find some sort of clue when we go through all this litter, but of course we can't touch anything until the photographers and fingerprint chaps have been.
I doubt if you'll find anything. I must be getting back to London. I'm leaving my assistant to have a prowl around the village.
Any special object, Governor?
No, just a picker-up of unconsidered trifles. Quexley must have made a few friends when he came to live here. See if they can tell you anything.
Well, I thought you were sure that Mr. Quexley didn't know anything about the playing cards.
That doesn't necessarily mean that someone he knew didn't and doesn't. Use your common sense. Goodbye for the present, Inspector.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Blake. I'll let you know if we get onto anything.
I'll do the same.
Here, Governor. If you're going to take the car, how do I get back?
Hire a car from somewhere, or you might try hitchhiking. Though I hardly think you've got the right sort of legs to be very successful.
Mr. Blake isn't available at the moment. No, I've no idea. Look, I'm sorry, but I can't give you any information at all. Yes, I understand that. I'll give Mr. Blake your message. Yes, I'll make it quite clear. Goodbye. Ooh.
I'm back, Paula. Anything important?
Well, they've been ringing up from the Home Office all morning. They don't sound a bit pleased.
It's the starch in their diet.
You said you'd let them know this morning if you would undertake that...
I know. You got my note about poor Quexley.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry. Did you find out anything at Larkminster?
Nothing. Tinker's still there making inquiries. I doubt whether they'll amount to much. Did you get on to Chief Inspector Coots?
Yes, he's ringing back.
Good. What about any other Quexley? It's an unusual name. There can't be many of them.
I've got Nichols onto that. Oh, if that's a Home Office again, what do I say?
The first thing that comes into your head. It's a language they understand.
Oh, very fun. Mr. Sexton Blake's residence? Oh, hold on a second, please. It's Chief Inspector Coots.
Hello, Coots, old man. Nothing at all, eh? I thought it was just possible there might be something in CRO. It would take too long to explain now. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. You always are in a hurry. Take it a bit more easily. You'll be getting stomach ulcers. So long, chum. Thanks for your trouble.
There's no record of anyone called a sin eater.
No. Get Mrs. Bardell to make a pot of coffee, will you, Paula? Very strong.
Yes, of course.
I don't want to see anybody.
Don't worry, I'll cope. Oh!
Anything the matter, Paula?
Just as you told, mister, this bird's going to get her face sliced, see? We don't want no trouble.
Don't let me go, you...
Who are you? What do you want?
We want those playing cards, mate. That's all. Just them cards.
Came in after Mr. Quexley left the pub last night, landlord.
That's right. He wanted to know Mr. Quexley's address. Actually, he didn't come in because I was just closing up.
You gave him the address?
Well, I didn't see any harm in it. He was a pleasant sort of chap, stoutish, rather red-faced. Of course, if I'd have known.
You couldn't, could you? You'd never seen this man before, I suppose.
No, sir. He was a stranger to me.
Had he got a car?
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I heard it.
Would you recognize him again if you saw him?
Yes, I'm sure I would. He got a large mole on the corner of his mouth, just about here.
Well, that may be helpful. You're a Londoner, aren't you, Mr. Jasper?
That's right, sir. I only took over the Lark a year ago.
Bit quiet after the smoke, eh?
Yeah, you're right there, sir. This is the first bit of excitement we've had. I suppose robbery was the motive. Was anything valuable stolen?
Well, the police are still checking up.
I hope they get whoever did it. You know, that chap didn't look like a burglar.
Well, there's no evidence that he was.
Except that it's a queer thing he should come here asking for the address on the same night that it happened, don't you think so, sir?
Well, you may be able to explain that when we find him.
Maybe you're right, sir.
Is there any place I can hire a car to get me back to London?
Not in the village. The nearest place you get anything like that would be Retford. It's just over 7 miles.
7 miles?
Yeah, just a minute, sir. When do you want to go?
Well, as soon as possible.
Miss Joan will be driving up to London in about 20 minutes. She'd take you, I'm pretty sure.
Miss Joan?
Miss Joan Clements. She's the vicar's daughter. This is her day for going up to London. Why don't you pop round to the vicarage and see her? She'd take you willingly.
Well, I can but try, can't I? Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Jasper.
You're welcome, sir. You'll find it'll be all right. The vicarage is just along the road and it's next to the church.
Yeah, I know. I pass it on the way here. Well, goodbye and thanks again.
Come on now, look, Slippy. We ain't got the rest of the blasted week. Chuck over them cards.
What cards?
Shall I give her a tickle with a nasty?
Have you hurt that girl?
What can you do, eh? She'd lose half her face before you could blink. Ain't that right, Ted?
That's right, mate. No, I ain't touched you yet, darling. You don't want to start singing before you've got something to sing about.
Who sent you here?
Who was it, Ted? Was it the Duke or the Archbishop? I can't remember now, can you?
I thought it was His Royal Highness.
I haven't got the cards you want.
Don't push the bird's luck, mate. Ted dishing for a bit of fun with his knife.
The police have got them.
Where shall I start the carving, Steve?
What about a bit of this?
No!
I don't like spoiling a pretty thing like you, sweetheart.
Listen, I have not got those cards.
I'll give you just 1 minute to hand them over or the bird gets it, good and proper. Don't answer it, let it ring.
That's it. Let it ring.
What you mean?
If that call isn't answered, it'll be automatically transferred to the porter's office downstairs.
So what?
The porter knows that both Miss Dane and myself are in. We always tell him when this flat is left empty so that the switchboard girl can take incoming calls.
We couldn't care less, mate.
But you will. In my profession, one has to take precautions. The porter has instructions to notify the police if he suspects anything.
Eh?
He'll be suspicious when he knows that we are in, but haven't answered the phone.
He's bluffing, Steve.
This building will be full of police in about 1 minute, 30 seconds. You'll find it difficult to get away, unless you go now.
Come on, Ted. I ain't risking it.
Oh, leave the bird.
Here, you fool. Come on.
Oh.
Put Rogers on the house phone, Miss Baker. It's urgent. All right, Paula?
Oh, well, just a little shaky.
Rogers, there are 2 young thugs on the way down. Usual type. I want them followed.
They believed you about the porter and the telephone.
I was afraid the phone would ring again and spoil it. I daren't do anything with that knife at your throat.
Well, he'd have loved to have used it.
Yeah, drink this brandy. It'll pull you together. I wonder who that phone call was from.
The Home Office again, probably.
They have their uses after all.
Do you want me to...
Yes? I see. Well, it can't be helped. You did. Well done. Yes, all right, Rogers. They got away. Went off like the wind on motorbikes. Rogers got the number of one of them.
Well, we can check up on that.
Yes, do that, Paula. Here's the number. How would you enjoy a breath of sea air?
Sea air?
Health-giving ozone, clean and invigorating. Be ready to leave in 15 minutes.
Are you serious?
Very.
Where are you going?
To follow up the message on those playing cards, we're going to find the ace. And I hope the black Zambomba.
All right. I'll see you downstairs in 15 minutes.
Well, here we are. The stairs between 2 gates.
Broad stairs.
Exactly. It lies between Margate and Ramsgate. Simple.
When you know. How did you know?
Correlation of ideas. Those 2 young thugs, healthy tans, fights at seaside towns, Margate. And the whole thing clicked.
Very clever. And what next?
We look for the ace. I imagine that it's some place called the Ace of Spades or something of the kind.
There's a restaurant over there. Perhaps they'd know.
Paula, you're not hankering after food again, are you? It's becoming a fetish.
It may have slipped your memory, Mr. Blake, but I haven't had anything to eat since my breakfast.
Well, you'll have to wait. Here's the police station. That's the most likely place to find out. In here, Paula. Good afternoon, Sergeant. My name's Sexton Blake. I'm looking for somewhere in Broadstairs called the Ace. Ace of Spades, something like that, perhaps? Any ideas?
Well, I don't know of any place called the Ace. Not round here, Mr. Blake.
Is there anything perhaps with the initials ACE, Sergeant?
Oh, not that I can recall, sir.
It could be a guest house or a bungalow, perhaps.
Oh, I haven't heard of anything of that kind, miss. You could try a directory. Here, hold on a minute. There's the almshouses.
Almshouses?
Yes, the Ann Codrington Estate, sir. They was built by a wealthy